Hello and welcome back. This video is called Gender and Number in Italian, the main exception. So let me make myself a little bit smaller here and let's start the presentation with these slides. So in the previous video, we talked about the general rule about gender. So we said that singular masculine words end up with O, plural masculine, they end up with E, singular feminine they end up with a, and plural feminine they end up with e. Appartamento in plural becomes appartamenti, casa in plural becomes case. Right? If you haven't seen the previous reason, go the previous video, pardon me, go check it out. Okay. Now, however, we have a big exception. The big exception is the following: we have many nouns, many words, many things, not verbs, because verbs they end up with are, ere, ire. Go and see the section about verbs. But we have many nouns that behave in this following way. In the singular, they end up with e, and in plural, they end up with e. Doesn't matter the gender. Without this happens, without any difference between feminine and plural. Careful. We've seen before that nouns always have a gender. But in this case, with these words that end up with e and e, we don't have the distinction between singular masculine, plural masculine, feminine singular, and plural and feminine plural. We don't have it. They end up with e or e. Singular e, plural e. Ad esempio, the word animale, which is animal, becomes animali in plural. Dottore, which is doctor, ends up with e, and in plural becomes dottori. Incisione, incision, is singular, incisioni is plural. Situazione, situation, plural becomes situazioni. Okay? Now, how can we know the gender of a word that ends up with e in singular and e in plural? Or better yet, how do you know that a word is singular masculine, dottore, and not plural feminine? Let me tell you, trust me, dottore is masculine. But it ends up with e because it's part of this exception. But how can we know that it's singular masculine and not plural feminine, like we've seen it happens in the general rule? How can we know this? Well, the reply is articles. The articles play a big role in this whole process about gender and number. Okay? Ad esempio, un animale, it's masculine. The article un is singular masculine. Un dottore is singular masculine. Una incisione is singular feminine. Una situazione is singular feminine. Then we have another family of article, l'apostrofe, l'animale, il dottore, l'incisione, la situazione. Il dottore, now it's singular masculine because il is the article singular masculine, and it ends up with e. So without the article and without me telling you that it's masculine, it's a little bit tricky to tell that it's masculine. Okay? But with the article il, which is the article singular masculine, you will know that this word is masculine singular, singular masculine. Whereas case is feminine plural. Sounds tricky? No worries, my friend, trust me. Follow the process, trust the process, and go check the videos about articles. This was just a spoiler kind of thing. I have section about articles, because articles make super clear the fact that you're talking about a singular masculine, singular feminine, plural masculine, plural feminine, especially when you are dealing with this exception. Okay, this is the only exception that you have to keep in mind because it's the more stressful one. Okay, because you see a word that you thought that it was, I don't know, plural feminine, for instance, but then the verb it is conjugated like it was singular, and that's probably singular because it's probably part of this exception. I really hope you enjoyed that clip. And if you want to watch the full length video, you can find it in my media library, which is part of my mentoring program. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Now, that being said, in the description box down below, you can find a few useful links to my mentoring program, to some free material, and so on. Have an amazing day, and I will see you very, very soon.